Describe in single words only the good things that come into your mind. About your mother?
My mother?
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my mother.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Cells.
Do they keep you in a cell? Cells.
Cells.
When you're not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
This causes it. This causes it. This causes it. Information overload. All the electronics around you poisoning the airwaves.
You are listening to the High Tech Low Life podcast, a cyberpunk media retrospective. High Tech Low Life contains language and themes not suitable for all audiences, as well as spoilers for the content being covered. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the High Tech Low Life podcast, everybody, with your hosts, Eric and Josh. I'm Eric.
I'm Josh.
And this week, we are not alone in the studio. We have a guest, as per usual, on our book episodes.
A specter is haunting High Tech Low Life.
A specter.
It's me, communism.
It's the specter of the Red Death. Yes, Geoff from the Astronomica podcast is back.
Hello. I have to say, guys, the listeners do not get a chance to appreciate how luxe and just spacious your studio is.
We really roll it out for our guests too, like the champagne, the caviar.
Yeah,
you deserve it.
I was a little. I mean, it was Russian caviar, so I felt like
we're not made of money.
Yeah, that's fair.
But anyway,
maybe the $50,000 candle per $50,000 a month candle budget might be a little excessive.
Never.
Help. How can I feed my family? Actually, this week we substituted our normal Russian caviar for paddlefish caviar sourced from the Ozarks.
Well, sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt a bit. I'm just trying to move on for what is inevitably going to be an insanely long episode.
Tight 240.
Yeah. We're talking about The 10% Thief this week, which is a book by a person with a name I do not want to attempt. So, Josh, after you.
Lavanya Lakshminarayan.
Yes. Nailed it. That's how my audiobook person pronounced it.
Okay, cool. I thought I was pretty close on the last name, but there was one of those where you could go either way depending on emphasis and syllables. So.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Lavanya. I'm actually pointlessly quibbling. I don't think it is.
It could be. I don't know. I'm not good at difficult names, even though I myself possess one. Before we do that, though, let's talk about stuff.
Happy stuff.
We actually did, not since our last episode came out, but since we recorded, we had a good day in America. And that's worth mentioning, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
Tuesday.
It's good to celebrate, when the good guys win one for a change.
Yeah, and when the bad guys lose one and die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burn down. And when, for instance, Alan Dershowitz threatens to blow his brains out on live TV.
Hell yeah.
Whatever precipitates that is a good thing.
Yeah.
Be it the unexpurgated Epstein files or the election of Democratic Socialist to mayor of New York.
Man, they are really... The other side's really crying about it. It's just funny because everything they're afraid of for their side is what we've been experiencing on this side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Only this will be good for the world, and theirs is almost inarguably bad. I don't know.
Yeah, they want to harm specific groups of people, whereas we want good things for everyone. So
yeah. We want a world that's better, even for billionaires, although the billionaires won't have as much money, but the world they live in will be a better place.
Mm-hmm. In my ideal world, there is no such thing as a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. But the former billionaires, if they make it.
What I've been finding just beautiful and entirely expected is all of the centrist Dem outlets just backpedaling and absolutely going to incredible lengths to avoid saying, yeah, we were wrong. This guy turned out to be electable. And how it's been truly wild, like seeing the reports about how Mamdani's marginal victory in New York City, blah, 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 compared to, so that was 8 points in a three-way race, and Trump managed a 1.4% lead.
Yeah,
and that is a mandate.
That was a mandate to destroy the Constitution, right? This is a marginal victory.
Yeah.
Did want to give a quick shout out to all in both this race and the primary, the third candidate, the upsetter, even though I think Mamdani would have won even without Silwa being there.
Oh yeah.
Even if Cuomo got all of Sliwa's votes, he would have lost by more than a point.
A goddamn entertaining guy to watch in the race, though.
He is absolutely an asshole and a racist and a lunatic. On the other hand, he has been providing entertainment value for 45 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, just in being a fucking loon running around yelling about shit.
And he hates Cuomo, so that's that's good.
Yeah, and literally turned down selling out. He turned down $10 million to drop out of the race. So yeah, he is a racist asshole, but he's a different kind of racist asshole.
Yeah,
he's like the old kind.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't need. I don't know. If you got to be a racist asshole, be more like him, I guess. But you don't got to be a racist asshole. So work on that.
On second thought, you do not, under any circumstances, got to hand it to ISIS.
But that day wasn't just Democratic Socialist mayor being elected. An asshole died, and that was Dick Cheney, and that was good news to wake up to.
It was.
He died doing what he loved, taking a human life.
He did.
Yeah. That's so true.
Did anybody see? I honestly, this just popped into my head. Did anyone see whether or not the guy that he shot in the face was out there making statements or anything? Or actually, maybe
question.
that guy died within the past few years.
I think that guy died from lead pellet poisoning.
I would just put one more mark amongst the millions of other ones on the side of Dick Cheney's plane.
Yeah, one of the great monsters of our times kicked off. So that's great.
And it's really, I mean, that's not a low bar to clear. Like he really achieved. He stood out in a field of fucking monsters.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's just because of the lack of time and position, he doesn't hit the Kissinger point. But he's relatively high up there, close to Kissinger in terms of absolute monsters of the last 70 years.
He's on the podium for sure.
Yeah.
He's unfortunate podium.
He's the velvet underground of war criminals. He might not be the.
He's
first
the war criminals' war criminal.
Yeah.
He only started 100 wars, but every one of the people who was in one of those 100 wars went off to start their own wars.
Oh, what a guy. Rest in piss. The other thing I wanted to mention that is good news, and maybe this is just going to be good time dystopia talk, is the sandwich hero acquittal.
Yeah.
The hero.
The hero. If only his name was Hero.
Yeah.
That's cool. He got off scot-free, right? No.
Yep. They failed to meet the burden of showing actual harm caused.
Yep. Even though it was at point blank range.
Point blank. Somebody brought up online that for there to be an official point blank classification means that there is an Army field manual specifying sandwich trajectories.
And wasn't there something about mustard gas?
Yes. Well, at least I saw. Okay, so apparently, it was kind of a quantum sandwich. Number one, the officer
Love that James
testified.
Bond movie.
Yes. The officer testified that it exploded when it hit his bulletproof vest with mustard and onions everywhere. On the other hand, there's also a photo of the sandwich, which is completely intact, still in its wrapper, lying on the ground. So somebody's lying. I'm going to leave it up to you to choose whether it's the coward officer or the photograph.
Yeah.
But
are you saying are you saying a fascist would lie?
I am delicately implying that.
So delicately.
So
but he could smell the mustard.
Yeah. Apparently that was the thing. I saw a couple of screen caps of people on Twitter, formerly X, talking about how, well, of course he should have been in fear for his life. He had reason to fear for his life. He could smell mustard. What if it was mustard gas? Dead. I assume dead serious.
Probably.
Which, yeah, sure. That's what happens with a wrapped Subway sandwich.
We've all eaten at Subway. Their mustard is not strong enough.
No.
To make you think mustard gas.
No. Yeah.
I'm frankly astounded that their sandwich was dense enough to be felt through full plate body armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, I'm glad the guy got off, and I guess sandwich tossing is legal, so Subway, you could really be cool right now.
Yeah.
Just show up and arm the protesters.
You've got some past PR campaigns to make up for, Subway.
Oh,
I think
you
do.
Good point. Yes.
You ever seen that Auntie Donna sketch where they're talking about what sandwich can we make to make everybody forget that our spokesperson is a pedophile? And they just list sandwiches. That's great.
I do like those rascals.
They are very funny. I watch them all the time, even old stuff. Let's push out of dystopia. I like it, keeping it light. Unless you got something you want to talk about, Geoff.
Slightly less light, but not as heavy as it would potentially be. Kat Abu Ghazaleh is a candidate for Illinois House Rep in the district that serves kind of the south. It's sort of gerrymandered, but kind of the southwest of Chicago. And she has been regularly protesting ICE, particularly at one of the detention centers near Chicago. And she has been charged with obstructing a federal officer for the crime of getting slammed to the ground,
thrown on the ground.
Thrown on the ground, which made one of the other ICE officers late for work because he couldn't drive through he couldn't drive over her while she was thrown to the ground. So it was also conspiracy to obstruct justice.
I missed that part. Cool times.
Wow. What a criminal.
But so far, everything that's preliminary seems to be going well for her. And honestly, I hope this is a kind of a Streisand effect.
Yeah.
And catapult her into better visibility. But if you can sign up for the Kat Abu Ghazaleh campaign to do some phone banking, it's that's one way you can join from out of the area, or some in-person door knocking if you're in the Chicago area. That's a great way to help out. She doesn't really need any legal aid or anything like that, but she wants to just get the word about her campaign out. And
she wasn't polling great.
Yeah, she's relatively she's kind of young. She's relatively unknown. She's sort of a Zoran Mamdani type, if you will.
Yeah, very much so. I like her. I've been following her on various podcasts I listen to for a while.
Yeah, and her political stances and her proposed policy takes are really pretty solid, solidly good, and she deserves some more visibility. So KATABU, if you just search for that, Kat Abu, you'll pull up most of her details for how you can get involved and help.
She's all over the blue ski.
Yes.
Yeah. She's skiing all over the place.
Just skeeting up a storm. Yeah, that's dystopian, but also, I mean, it's nice to see good people come to prominence. And I feel like she has been, ever since she got indicted, she's been popping up everywhere. So Maybe it'll be beneficial.
It can't hurt.
One more real quick thing that I don't think we need to hugely get into because we talked about it last week. SNAP benefits still being cut. So if any of you guys out there want to look up local food banks and, maybe toss them a couple of bucks, please do so. We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, our patrons did. Thanks, patrons.
Yeah. If you're in the Memphis area, the Memphis Interfaith Association, despite it having a religious sounding name, is a thoroughly secular organization, and they do a lot to bring food to people who are facing nutritional insufficiency. And it's mifa.org. And search for your local food bank. They tend to have less overhead.
Yeah.
Check them out on GuideStar or Charity Navigator to make sure that you're not getting the nephew of the governor's scam food bank, but those are fortunately rare. And give money, not food. It feels better to give food, but it helps better to give money. They can buy at bulk and get more for the buck than you can buying it.
Yeah, plus they don't have to. If it needs to be stored, it's a lot easier to store money than food. If you're in the Kansas City area, check out Crosslines Kansas City Outreach. That's the one we researched up. It seems to be a cool little group of folks just a couple miles from my house, a little further from Josh's. Yeah, I'm sure you got something local.
Sadly, every place does because they have to.
Yeah. Only it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
Man, that lady on TikTok has been going viral the last couple of days. She's calling churches with a crying baby in the background, asking for formula because she can't pay for it. I think at this point she's called 29 churches and had 26 refusals. And she called one mosque, and the mosque immediately offered to help. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also, just a tip, and this will largely apply if you're in, medium to large cities. But if you are food insecure, Sikh temples are about, and they offer free meals. Many of them do it every day a week. Like for lunch, it's always vegetarian. Some of them will do it, less often. But you walk in, you don't got to be Sikh. They don't say, "Hey, join our religion." It's here is food for the community. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, and also on religious houses that are reliable for assistance, Unitarians generally pretty good on food assistance in times like this. Although, depending on where you are, they might be a little closer to Joel Osteen than than the ideal.
Yeah.
But that's a great point about the Sikhs. That if I had to give a religion a pass,
they all carry knives, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
the knife carrying is dope. Well, let's do some recommendos before we get into this big old book. Josh, you want to talk about your pluribussy? I couldn't wait.
I'm a pluribust all over this. So, new as of last week, a new Apple TV show created by Vince Gilligan, the guy who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, started. It stars Ray Seahorn from Better Call Saul, and the first 2 episodes are out. And it's not very cyberpunk so far. Could turn that way. But it is very interesting. It follows it's not an alien invasion. It's definitely not an alien invasion.
That leaves a lot of options still on the table, but I'm glad that one's removed.
And this is laid out in the first, in the first 20 minutes of the first episode. Effectively, everybody on Earth, with the exception of roughly 12 people, become a big hive mind.
Sick.
And
a whole bunch of people die.
Yeah, a bunch of people die. Quite a number. I think 800 million. But that was because it got rushed. But anyway, and Ray Seahorn is one of the 12 people, and she is a romantasy author and bitter and miserable, and I really like the character a lot, and I get it. She is exactly up my alley. But
are actually selling this quite well.
It's
me anyway.
Yeah, it clearly cost Apple like $1 billion fucking dollars, even outside of, I'm sure Vince Gilligan commands a tremendous salary, these days. They're shooting all the fuck over the place, all over the world, apparently. And it is very neat so far. So get in early.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's I on your recommendo on the Discord, Josh, I tuned into that show and watched the first 2 episodes, and it is a blast. Yeah.
It's one of those shows where after about every scene ends, you could pause it and go, okay, where could this go next? Like, what's the next moves we would make in terms of narrative? And it's not ever choosing. It's never choosing the obvious path. So,
yeah.
I
but
truly,
a logically consistent within the setup of the world.
Yeah, I truly do not have the slightest idea how the show is going to continue and, eventually end. Like, I honestly have no idea how this is going to work out. Is she going to be a hero that starts waking people up and leading a resistance? That's possible. Is something entirely separate happening? I don't know, but
yeah,
definitely worth a watch.
One thing that's great too is the hive mind. It's a really interesting take on an implacable, almost omnipotent enemy, but they're very affable.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, hi, Carol, we're here to help.
Yeah,
it's like the Simulus Omgim.
Yeah,
very much so. Yeah,
my favorite hive mind.
One of mine too. Tune into the Astronomica podcast to find out more.
Yeah,
about 100 episodes or so in.
All right, we got to talk about another something else. You got Geoff, do you have anything you want to mention?
It doesn't really need it, and it's kind of redundant, but Dungeon Crawler Carl is a lot of fun.
I've heard so much about that.
Alien invasions. It's a good beach read or beach style read.
Is it something we should cover? You might be the guy to ask because I've heard yes and no about it.
I mean, there is social commentary, there is body modification, but mostly it's like it is a critique of capitalism and video game and like transient pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ready Player One.
Imagine if Ready Player One had something to actually say
other than rocks in its head.
Yeah, not a lot necessarily, but it's good. Its heart is in the right place.
Okay.
I actually picked it up a while back and haven't listened to it yet because I don't know if we're going to cover it or not, and I don't.
Well,
want to do it early.
Also, I mean, there are 7 books and counting. So
true.
He's trying to get to level 18, and I think at the last book he's on level 12 or 11.
Noob.
Yeah.
Speaking of levels, my quick recommendo is Arc Raiders. I've been playing that. It came out last week, I think. It's a very fun dystopian game. A bunch of people live underground. You go to the surface, where robots have taken over everything and they want to kill you, and you try to scavenge shit and then get back underground. Extraction shooter, I believe they're called.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
But there's other raiders who are trying, you can either team up with or they will try to kill you. Most of the time they're trying to kill you, but once in a while you find a nice guy. It's a fun game.
Abiotic Factor, to jump on the back of that.
Yeah, I've thought about getting that one a couple times. Looks interesting.
It's a blast. If you liked Half-Life, it's a way to kind of recapture some of the feel of that, but you can play with your buddies. So
if you have them, loser. Sorry, I don't know where that came from.
I don't have friends. I have video game skills.
Exactly.
Well, you were making friends. I was
practicing the game.
I was studying the game.
Josh, did you have one more? I thought you said you had 2.
In fact, I do. It is the arguably first it is an adaptation of arguably the first cyberpunk story, Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice.
The Guillermo del Toro film that just came out on Netflix and other places.
It's pronounced Gizmo.
Gizmo del Tismo.
Gizmo del Toro. Sorry.
Yeah. It has a like I am certain that the costume department said to Gizmo, "Hey boss, got you that Oscar Isaac looking real sexy just like you asked." And he said yes and started beating off about it because Oscar Isaac has never looked sexier. He is Dr. Frankenstein, lazing around in like a linen shirt open to, I don't know, the bottom of his pecs with like a silk bandana as a cravat and wearing like red leather gloves and tight pants and creating life.
Bro Jay, this is your reminder at this moment to mop your lower chin.
Yes. It is like, I really liked it. It had a lot of the, like, okay, even outside of just the Frankenstein story, because, yeah, Frankenstein, good stuff, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's just a good story.
Stands the test of time.
There's a reason that we've made, I don't know, 50 Frankenstein movies in the past century and a half. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the novel's been reprinted however many times. This one was very good because, like, it's got, you know, a bunch of your favorite actors in it. And also it's Guillermo del Toro operating in the Crimson Peak mode, where it's just everything is gothic and like there's red silk all over the place and everything's production designed to within a fucking inch of its life. And it's nice. It is so cool looking and definitely worth, you know, 2 hours or 2:15 of your time.
All right. So let's talk about the 10% Thief. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good about that. What about you?
Think we should do that?
About talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. All
right, let's do it. Do we want to do first impressions?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Why? If all three of us hated it, why drag the audience along? Why not, you know, let the audience get out early?
Exactly.
So we all hated it, right?
Profoundly mixed would be my reaction.
Okay, yeah, I honestly did not care for it.
So there were some individual threads that I loved, and some that I just felt like it was kind of a slog.
Yeah.
100% agree. I think the book is successful at what it's trying to do, but it is not for me. Does that make sense? Like it might very well be someone else's cup of tea. It's just not mine. And that's not a judgment on the quality of what it is necessarily. If that's fair.
No, it's not.
How do you feel about it, Josh? Obviously you liked it. I think
I think it's very good. I do like, yeah, there are certainly bits of it. Like there are certainly chapters that don't hit for me and like, you know, kind of don't work that great. But I felt that overall this actually managed to pull off a mosaic novel, which is wildly uncommon, like for people to do because it's incredibly fucking difficult. I feel like in the end it was all worth it.
On balance, I like the book. I like the book overall, but I wish that we could trim down. I mean, it's not that long already, but some of them could have been excised, maybe.
I struggled getting through it in some parts, and I don't want to be a hater. I'm not here to be a hater, but I got to be true to myself.
I am sure that part of the reason you struggled was the audiobook format.
Absolutely. 100% for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
For one thing, I could tell there was a lot of like screen stuff that was happening on comment sections and stuff that they were reading, which sounded terrible, and did not care for the narrators in this particular one. They were pretty awkward and spoke in such... The female narrator pronounced her T's very... every T was very pronounced. Yep. And I listened to him on 1.25 speed, so it just was weird.
Yeah.
She had a particular way of speaking that sounded very strange to me. It didn't... I don't know. It's a quibble. It's not a quibble with the book. It's a quibble with the audio book.
I listened to some of it in audiobook form, and just because I'm not great about audiobooks, and boy, I found it profoundly, I found parts of it profoundly confusing. Like, at least on the version that I heard, they did not say chapter 2.
No, dude, they didn't. They just bounced right in with no pause whatsoever.
Yeah, and there were other things. Like, I initially read this 4 years ago or whenever it came out. I initially read this in book form, and the book does quite a bit with switching, in a chapter, it'll switch from italics to bold to whatever, or, a bunch of space or something to indicate break in time, different conversation, different timeline, etc. And
internal communication with Comport.
Yeah, and none of that came through in the audiobook. And it was even reading it on my Kindle, there were points at which I had to sit and think about, wait, what happened? Oh, yeah, okay. Because it is just so much, you can do so much less with the formatting. And that made it more confusing than it had any need to be.
Yeah, this book absolutely suffers from audio format, and I would recommend not consuming it that way if you're at all able.
Because it is absolutely fucking wild. Every chapter begins with a little excerpt of something, the Belcorp Declaration of Human Rights or whatever. So you'll end a chapter. There's no indicator that a chapter ends. The narrator will be going on about how, and then Nina won the music scholarship. And then it just starts speaking, and then it just starts...
There's no pause.
There's no pause. It just starts reading the next thing, which is, all subjects must be blah, 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 Bell Charter of Human Rights. Then,
in fact, I would argue...
the next chapter.
I would argue that there's less of a pause between chapter breaks because these narrators read so very slowly. Even when it's on 1.25 speed, there's big gaps in what they're saying sometimes. There's less of a pause in the chapter breaks because they're just apparently knitting the two audio files together, most likely, than there is in the actual conversations being held in the stories. It is strange, and I had to check a couple times what was happening.
Yeah, I listened to a little of the early chapters because this past couple of weeks has been a little bit at ends for me. And boy, the audiobook shit just was driving me nuts.
That said, I mean, I could still tell what was going on. And I think my biggest thing is not having a character to follow other than, very loosely, a couple of them would pop up here and there again.
Wait,
it's not the way I like my books, I think.
Wait, do you not think that New York is the main character of Sex and the City?
It absolutely is.
You would. You're such a Samantha.
Thank you. God, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Honestly, the only redeemable character on that show. We don't need to get into it, but
okay, that's fine.
The only good character on that show.
All right, I'm making jacking off motions while sustained eye contact.
So, do we want to talk about it?
Yeah, we do. I do.
All right,
but please.
Let's talk about the world first. So yeah, we're in Apex City, owned by Belcorp. It was formerly Bangalore, which is in South Central India, and it is a cyberpunk city of the future. It's towers and some sort of electrical field around it, which both keeps people out and also controls kind of some of the weather inside the city, ? It's
an air-conditioned city, I believe, right?
Yeah. And it's surrounded by shanties and dust storms and has giant high rises and everybody has cyberware. Well, all the citizens have cyberware.
The virtuals.
The people.
Yes, the virtuals. In fact, this book was originally published under the title, I can't remember if it was virtual/analog or analog/virtual, but
I believe virtual was placed first in that one.
Yeah. Virtuals are the citizens and analogs are the shit people.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
I mean, that's, how
according to the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the important thing is this is Bell City. That is a reference to the bell curve. You get it? So
I did.
20% of the population are the absolute most successful people. They're super productive for a given value of productive? ? 70% of people are also citizens. They don't have quite the lives of luxury, etc. And then there are 10% of people who are cast out and analogs and live in the dirt, basically, if they aren't sent to the vegetable farm.
Yeah,
which is
the ever-looming threat of the vegetable farm.
Yeah, I was on my read through this time. I was impressed by how long she managed to hold off explaining the vegetable farm.
Yeah,
it was heavily implied.
Yeah,
but, the actual revelation just casually dropped, kind of as an aside. I think it was in the tram operators chapter, right?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Welcome to the machine. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was an actual farm where people were working for a long time. Made sense, but not so much.
Yeah, actually, as it turns out, working on an actual farm is sort of a step up. It's a cushy gig.
So, in this city, there is a semi-mythical, from the perspective of the analogs, kind of Robin Hood figure, and to the virtuals, kind of a V for Vendetta type figure.
Yeah.
And that is the titular 10% thief, because the thief is of the 10%. And that's the first chapter. Is very short. We sort of meet the 10% thief. We get a little bit of information about the kinds of crimes, for a given value of crime that they do. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The crimes are more crimes of the spirit. Well, there's direct theft, but the ones they care about are crimes of the spirit more than property crime.
Yeah. Something that we'll find as we get further and further into the book is that one of the main things that this company and city does is simply try to sustain itself and make sure the citizens know that they are better than the non-citizens and live in a deathly fear of becoming non-citizens.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Josh called them shit people earlier, but I think that's even being generous because they don't think they're people at all. Yeah. They refer to them as it.
Yeah.
They are worse. They're not people to them, even of the shit variety.
Yeah, they are arguably fuckable robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the virtuals, to the upper class. This is not something some of the analog people whose perspective is detailed in the book do internalize that, but that's not universal by any means. Just to point that out.
And it's not universal within all of the virtuals either, because there are sympathizers up there as well.
Yeah, a lot of them are sympathizers along the lines of MLK's white liberal allies.
Yeah.
So anyway, of people who've internalized it, Chapter 2, Monsters Under the Bed, or as I like to call it, Hopper Under the Bed.
This is if Hopper and Ed Zed had a horrifying baby.
There's a line about how its rubbery smile split, and I was like, "Oh, Hopper, how's he doing?"
Yeah, this chapter is
fucking upsetting.
Yeah, When I say it's my favorite, what I mean is it is horrifying and terrible,
ghoulish,
incredibly powerful, very well written.
It's like I totally get how you front load this. Okay, first chapter, you get a little bit of scene setting about the world. You get kind of the title character. Great. Now, what the fuck are we doing here? There's an inflatable silicone robot under a guy's bed, and it comes out to enforce the tastes that he should have to be part of the 1% of the 1%. And so he can unlearn his behaviors. And it is scary with scraping across his eyeballs.
Yeah,
man, I'm not remembering any of this. Did I skip a fucking chapter?
This is the one with Ophelia basically reprogramming. I feel like
that would ring a bell to me.
Yeah,
and is a recurring thread.
Yeah,
a recurring character.
Yeah, John pops up. Actually, he might be in the most of the chapters of any of the single characters, at least appearance-wise.
And Mr. Morris.
Yeah,
as it turns out, one of the most. If you can personify a villain rather than just the whole system, he's as close as they come.
Yeah. Was it Mark? That's his name. Yeah. Mark Morris.
In John's chapter, he only knows him as Mr. Morris.
Mr. Morris. Yeah. So, Eric.
Apparently, you guys are gonna have to fill me in on a lot of this book because I must have zoned out for a lot of it. I apologize for that.
It is a real bummer that this is one of the ones you zoned out on because it is a wild fucking ride.
I remember the first one. That this is not coming to me. I don't know why the fuck it wouldn't. I did have trouble with the actual file on this audiobook too.
Oh.
It could have skipped it. There was one chapter I got to where it would go to the start of the chapter and it would play. And then if I hit pause, I couldn't unpause it. It would go back to the start of the chapter. And I did this 4 times. And I eventually had to just sit and listen to the all 40-minute chapter all in one setting. Or else I could never find my place again. It was very frustrating. So maybe it skipped it because
maybe it skipped all the best chapters. Maybe you got the discount version that only had the the dross.
That would that would explain some things.
Okay, so the very short version of the summary is the character's name is John. He is trying to excel and get this big promotion, and he has a frightening apparition robot that lives under his bed and comes out and tortures him into having the right acceptable opinions because he grew up in analog.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember John. Yeah, I remember the character. I don't know, man.
This chapter talks about, this is one of the several chapters that talks about music quite a bit.
Yeah.
Music's important in this world.
Yeah,
I do like the juxtaposition that the virtuals only listen to analog instruments.
Yeah, neo-acoustic,
and the analogs only listen to digital noise punk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, so anyway, this monster tortures him. He's very excited about it. It apparently cost him a lot of money because this will allow him to get to the top 1%, and he's going to keep popping up back through the rest of the book.
Yeah.
Honestly, this chapter could easily have been a creepy fucking short story, somewhere.
I think a lot of these, a number of these started out as short stories that were all interwoven.
Mm-hmm.
And because they were set in the same world and sort of expressed the same themes. And then the last third of the book, where it becomes more cohesive, was written to tie it all together. And then maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I think I was at the 5th chapter where I'm like, man, there are a lot of POV characters in this book. We're pretty deep in. And then I realized, this is just the whole book. And then I got kind of bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
This chapter, the chapter is especially effective and horrifying because John is aggressively pursuing being reprogrammed. He's not he's not a victim of this terrifying monstrous beast. He is reprogramming himself.
He's doing it for his own good.
Right.
Yeah. And
and he's the guy that won't call his dad, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he set up a fake past where he wasn't one of those nasty analogs. He was a virtual whose parents were killed by the analogs in a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
But so like it, the real monster is man, but this is a really effective version of that, because you start out with this horrifying external creature, and then you realize it's just a manifestation of his monstrousness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which his monstrousness is a through line. Yeah. Sometimes in the background and sometimes very foreground.
Okay, so chapter 3 is probably the one where anybody who's used to reading cyberpunk novels would sit down and go, oh, okay, so this is our POV character. It's a guy who's really into fucking music on cassettes. He's trying to find, listening to, what is the underground music called?
Anatronica.
Yeah, Anatronica. He's some fucking 16-year-old probably. He gets this flyer that says, come to, find us, basically. And he joins the resistance. And you're like, okay, well, obviously this is the character we're going to be following.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a nice little chapter about living as an analog, and
yeah, this is one of the ones I bounced off of more. To be honest, it's not as well written as the rest of the book, I feel like.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's doing exactly what it needs, kind of what it sets out to do, which is lead you through kind of some youth subculture stuff and get a character in with the resistance. But compared to a lot of the other work, there's not a lot of elegance to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of the stories stand alone. Some of them are kind of just filler to progress the overall story, right?
It's world building, but it's so explicit and so in the foreground that it's not as
well. But it does
actually.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Well, I was going to say it does introduce the character who's a Fed, who is like Rohini, who walks up and says, "Hello, fellow resistor. Let's do some crimes."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you, a cop?" And she's like, "No, of course not.
I would have to tell you if I was a cop."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of another problem I had with the book is the lack of subtlety, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of the things that happen, I'd wish they could be a little more subtle about stuff. And I can't think of an example offhand. Maybe something will come up when we're
the social media named Woofer, where you woof your
posts.
My
God, yes, that stuff was really cringe. And what was the other one? Snap, Insta
Snap. Yeah.
I mean, so this was not written by somebody whose first language is English. Like she's very eloquent in writing English. Like this wasn't translated from another language, but maybe having an ear for the subtlety of a pun. Not necessarily, but that is actually the biggest thing I bounced off of is the clunkiness, trying to thread the needle between parody and commentary and actual story.
Satire.
I can.
Yeah, it was rough at some spots.
Okay, chapter 4, analog/virtual. We meet a character named Anita. She's very depressed. She is newly unemployed. She goes to the grocery and sees an it.
I bounced off this one hard. To talk about the lack of subtlety, she was just really playing it up. How, it's just go get your fucking groceries, lady. Chill. I'm sorry. I realize they're trying to tell us this is a shock to her to be in this new situation, but man.
Yeah. I mean, her full name is Anita Job, so.
Is that true?
No.
Okay.
Woof. Woofer.
Woofer. Anita Job.
That's not a bad bit of business. This one we basically we get some more of the kind of 70% mindset, and learn a little bit more about the world. Like, as you are dropped down, you lose privileges. She is not used to going to a store. All her food shows up at her door when she needs to order, when she just orders it. She now, since she lost her privileges, has to tap her glasses as opposed to, or tap her, sensor, as opposed to the Omniport just knowing what she wants or what to display.
Mm-hmm.
And it is...
She used to use a real keyboard instead of a hollow keyboard.
Yeah, like a monster.
Like a pleb.
Some sort of cave dweller.
There is a little bit in this that I actually did like. She actually has to clamp down on the feeling of joy at being able to choose for herself her diet, which is
she doesn't want to get used to it.
Yeah. She's trying to get back into the 70%, and those parts were effective. But yeah, like you, this was one I bounced off of. The whole poor little 70%er.
So yeah, that was chapter 4, Analog Virtual, Hose Depressed. And yeah, she's basically, the chapter ends with her being shoved down into an analog.
That's the last we hear from her?
I think so. Yeah. I did my best to track as much of this as possible. Like, the back half of this book, my Kindle got as much of a workout as it ever had in terms of select name, search, did this appear? Did this appear previously?
See, I'm not great with names, so I was not following all of the track. I was trying to pay attention because I knew it was going to happen. But yeah, I don't think I caught all of the references.
I'm sure you didn't, and I'm honestly sure I didn't, because, there's just a lot going on. And
I don't think she does show back up. There was another chapter that I confused her for someone else, but
yeah, I was keeping my eyes open for her, and I was also keeping my eyes open for the main character in the next chapter, which I feel was, in my mind, one of the kind of bigger missteps of the book. Follow chapter 4, where a woman is depressed and getting shoved down to analog, with chapter 5, Into That Good Night, where a woman is trapped in a dark room.
Yeah.
And it's not the same character. I don't know, in my mind, it maybe should be, or at least there should be space between them.
The next chapter was the tour guide looking for her sister, right? Mm-hmm. Which I assumed was the person in the dark room, but I don't think it was. Yeah.
No, her sister is
Marie.
Marie, the engineer who enables the hardware side of the revolution.
Yeah. I think I figured that out at some point, but while you're reading it, you're just thinking, well, there's a girl that just anyway. Go ahead with the chapter.
Yeah, and also one thing that I was specifically looking for reading it this week, since I read it before. I was uncertain, and I am still uncertain, how chronological everything is. I am not sure if some of these chapters, if some of the later chapters occur before these, or how much space is between certain chapters, because I feel...
Sorry.
Fuck off. Go to hell. Go to hell. Because I feel like the John of chapter 2, like, in my mind, that reads as a much lower position person than the one who's at the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's the précis of him catapulting himself up into the top 20%.
Yeah.
And he does show up in the background as somebody. He's the one who was the rival to one of the people that got bumped down, basically. And they were thinking somebody just mentions like he takes too much glee in threatening people with like being demoted.
It is an interesting question because like the Nadia character, the musician, you spend a pretty good chunk of time with her, right? Like from
I think that's the longest chapter.
Yeah.
Nina, right?
Is it Nina?
Nina. Yeah.
At least I got the N. But you're like, she's just getting adopted and then she goes through school and then she's like learning all this stuff. So surely that's not, who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe a lot of time passes between the beginning and end of the book.
Well, that chapter is one of the real fucking rough ones. And I can't imagine it made sense in audio because it keeps, well, we'll get to it when we get to it, but it keeps, yeah. So, we spend a chapter with a woman trapped in a dark room who is torturing herself by declaring how good and how productive she'll be, and if only she could have some light. And eventually she is blindfolded and led somewhere, and the chapter ends.
Yeah, this is a rough one, an audiobook, because the narrator, I don't know, she didn't convey it very well. But
also, it wasn't great in text, to be honest.
Okay.
Another one of the ones that was not
I think I guess the implication of this one is either she is at the end of it deported or sent to the vegetable farm, but she never appears again, at least under the name Sasha.
Yeah, I assumed it was Vegetable Farm City.
Yeah, I think that's 100% what I took it to be the prelude to.
So chapter 6. Chapter 6 in my mind really fucking pops. Like chapter 6 is Welcome to the Machine, which is the children's tour guide.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. All 10-year-olds.
Interested to find out why you guys like it so much.
Because
no, just describe it and we'll get to it.
Okay. Well, she is the main character. Teresa is a tour guide because all virtual children have to go on basically a guided tram tour to see how the analogs live, to enforce how it would be the end of the world if they didn't live, if they weren't in the 70 or 20%. Mm-hmm. And also, just as a side note, this character will be made redundant next week because they've figured out that robots could do the job just as well.
Yeah.
Which is like, there's a couple of little bits and pieces throughout the rest of the book that indicate, wait a minute, is there going to be a robot uprising?
Right. Yeah, there is.
Which there isn't at the end of the book, but it is like a growing threat in just like a sentence here, a sentence there throughout the rest of the book, and would be an interesting, entirely separate bit of work to do.
Three Kingdoms situation.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw in, Sasha does not get sent to the veggie farm. She is one of the scavengers.
Oh, she scavenges for Marie, and yes, you're right. I remember making that note in whatever chapter that was. The tree one?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
This is a rough one for me to follow.
Yeah.
I am sorry if I'm not pulling my weight this episode.
No, you're okay. It's this book is a fairly high hurdle. Like, I think this book certainly does better on its second read than its first one.
I can only imagine, yeah.
And I can't even imagine, like I said, the audio book issues, that seems impossible to me. So yeah, she takes the kids on a tour through part of the analog city, and she is reading a script, and she cannot vary from the script, otherwise her productivity will drop, or maybe she'll be accused of being a sympathizer. Mm-hmm. And we find out that, we there's an analog house that's like cut in half and you can see inside, and it's a guy just laying there asleep, and it's the middle of the day, and why would, analogs are so fucking lazy. That's why they're here. They're bad citizens.
Yeah.
They're not
unproductive.
Yeah. Which is the
worst thing you can be.
Yeah, it really is. And we also get some of Teresa's internal monologue about how, yeah, he probably works nights at the scrapyard, and during the day is the time when he sleeps. So he's not unproductive.
Yeah.
He just has to sleep like a people.
Teresa's not bought into her speech.
Yeah, and she's even realized that some of the people who weren't sufficiently tired out by labor were just straight up drugged over the years. Like they sedate them to make them look like lazy layabouts for the display house.
Yeah. And we find out that all the analogs just eat fucking goo that's handed out graciously by the city. Basically, we find out that life sucks. Some people on the inside can see that the city is doing this to the analogs, and Teresa is one of them, but she's got to keep this fucking job. And also, by the way, her sister is now an analog, because she did I can't remember what the name of the mission was, but it was like a space mission satellite thing, and it failed.
Sorry, it's not going to happen again.
Jesus Christ!
Wow,
it had fucking well better.
It was a callback. I had to. I had to.
In my eyes.
If you don't watch out, you're going to get Josh is going to punch you, and then you'll be under the table and dreaming.
That's a deep cut. I don't even know if I'm familiar with that one.
That's the name of the first album. The important thing is you'll be under the table and dreaming, then I'll strangle you, then I'll dump you in the woods, and ants will go marching in and out of your skull.
Nice.
That's good. Okay. We've done it.
And
that's
then
enough
I'll
Dave
load
Matthews for the High Tech Low Life podcast ever.
I think we have exhausted my Dave Matthews references other than shit in a river.
Well, yeah, that one will come out.
Pooping on a tourist boat. That's
as cyberpunk as it gets.
Yeah. So she also, during this, she's given this talk to the kids and pointing out how, I'm sure many of these, I'm sure the tour, she has these scripted lines about how the children have almost undoubtedly seen terrible violence because analogs always try to attack the tour bus. Never happens.
Right.
And she also, we get a little bit of the propaganda and nursery rhymes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is one of the better world building chapters.
Yeah.
It's and one of the better characterization, like her interiority and her characterization. Like I really feel like were conveyed better than some of the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a very smart way to do a ton of fucking world building and not have it be like she's literally explaining it to children. So it has to be fairly simple, and it's obviously not the fucking truth.
Yeah.
In many respects, but it's better than just having some random character talking to another random character doing a giant info dump, because she has okay, I have to keep going with the propaganda. Oh, I'm thinking about my sister. Will I see her in the crowd? Maybe she's dead. I don't know. So
is that her? It looks just like her. Turns around. Oh, damn! Classic movie joke.
Yeah.
It's great. Like it is one of the best ways to world build, especially because part of the world building is the dichotomy between the official party line and her interior thoughts. That in and itself like adds an extra layer of understanding to this society, and it's subtle. Unlike some of the other, kind of more ham-fisted.
I will, and I'm gonna stop complaining about the audiobook, but some of the subtlety was lost in the narration. Like she was really hamming it up, which took away from it, and maybe I would appreciate it more if I watched it. I will stop complaining about the audiobook though, because we've made that point clear.
Yeah. So, Chapter 7, Full Metal Forest Breathing. Cool title.
Very cool.
I can't improve on that one.
Yeah.
So, we meet Marie, Teresa's sister, and she is working on this big art installation, I guess is a good way to put it, which is, in fact, a gigantic wiretapping.
Yeah, I liked this chapter.
Yeah. The analogs are making a forest of trees to just all over the outside the borders of the city. and they're beautiful, and also they scrape as much electronic data as they can from every activated device that gets anywhere near them.
Anything that described how the analogs were scavenging tech was interesting to me, because the higher ups don't think that the analogs have any tech, right? They think they're just living in the dirt.
Yeah, that's and in this chapter they say that like they have no suspicion of and will never suspect that we can do anything like this. But they think we're just going to run in with fucking spears and die.
They're talking about using like tech that's 20 years old. It just reminded me of being a kid when I wanted to build a computer because I desperately wanted to be on the internet, but I didn't have any money. So I'm like cobbling together a 486 so I can fucking telnet to a mud because just to get that connection. You know, it reminds me of my youth.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, we meet a character named Tariq. He's going to keep showing up throughout the rest of the book. We find out in this chapter that Sasha does scrounging for them to get hardware, and also Rohini introduces herself to Marie, and basically says, "Hey, I'm a huge fan. Want to do crimes?"
Yeah. As you know, we're both working to subvert the virtuals. Let's do some crimes together.
Yeah. And it's like what this chapter does is pretty cool. I don't think it's the best written chapter. And that might be, I don't know. It's, Marie clearly still has some issues with being an analog. It talks about how over the past 2 years or whatever, they've learned not to, that she will not make eye contact or respond to them unless they really, unless it's something, desperately needed.
She still feels a little superior.
She definitely feels a little superior.
I like that. I like that characterization. Like, I like that she's not, an all-in proletarian savior hero.
Right.
Yeah. Like, she's a prickly asshole, but she's necessary. Which will be required in any fictional account of subverting the social order. That's realistic.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel like there was something else in this chapter that I wanted to specifically bring up, but it's not coming to me.
This is where you get any kind of real glimpse of the interior of the vegetable farm.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. This is, we find out, that the vegetable farm is not, in fact, where people grow vegetables. It is, in fact, where people are turned into vegetables and then all of their organs are harvested.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Oh, well, at the end of the tram ride, Teresa thinks about her sister, and she was told that her sister was harvested and then delivered into a tiny titanium box. And they just lied.
Yeah.
She did escape. I like that's a little subtle bit.
Because fascists lie constantly.
Yeah. Okay. So chapter 8, the Persona Police.
Another
man. It would have been cool if they'd have read those titles at the top. That would have been a nice maybe help.
Yeah.
They'll stop playing out the audiobook.
This is, I think this is my least favorite chapter. It's also
remind me what it is.
Also, I think the second longest. It is where the woman goes to her hair and makeup lady. And mentions that she is going to have an old-fashioned birth.
Yeah,
and this sets off a catastrophe through, like every strata of the 70 and the 70 and 20%.
Yeah.
And it's got like, it has some good little bits of business. Like there's a section where she, where it's being talked about at a girl boss brunch.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how, well, this is the type of she's just going to rebuild the glass ceiling on her own. Like the fact that she's going to have a natural birth rather than switch to a prego pod so she can keep working.
Awful name for tech. I mean,
yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of respect it. I respect it, but also it's awful. Maybe it's awful in a good way. I don't know.
All the product names they're just kind of too clunky to be effective in what I think it's going for.
Well, you were right when you said walking the line between like parody and satire or whatever, because some of it does feel like a joke.
Well, yeah. I agree, but also there's I think it's another couple of chapters along here, where a character mentions that actually it might have been in chapter 7, where somebody says that no, the virtuals are incapable of being subtle. They can't. Mm-hmm. They just aren't at all. Which makes a lot of sense if the virtuals are every day we are surrounded by propaganda and it's impossible to be subtle. Subtlety doesn't exist for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, I just think it's on the wrong side. Like there is the difference between a lack of subtlety in a character's speech and a lack of subtlety in the writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like George Saunders or like Thomas Pynchon could absolutely have, like they have clunky names, but they are deliberately, I don't know. I think maybe part of it is just having the inside feel for how it sounds in English, maybe
in colloquial English. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you read an author that I despise, because I keep harping on the things in this book I don't like, but overall I did like it. And I like this writer, and she has some segments of really great writing. A writer I hate is J.K. Rowling. And every time she tries to come up with a name for something, it's just the clunkiest ass dragging nail on chalkboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean
the smallest quibble I have with her, but it is, she's a bad author. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. The guy that Harry gets his money from, Jewy McGoblin banker.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my points of pride is that I never read those books when they were popular and never took even the slightest interest in that world. It's not a point of pride. It just kind of worked out that way, but worked out for me.
Yeah. It turns out, good call.
I know it was accidental, but yeah, good job.
We'll take it. A win's a win.
A win is a win. So anyway, this character named Tanvi is Prego, and she doesn't want to have the fetus transferred to a pregopod, and that is going to hurt her productivity, and she will single-handedly rebuild the glass ceiling.
Did you notice she's getting kind of fat?
She's getting kind of fat.
She's like up 0.1 kilos over where she should be or some
bullshit.
Yeah. I do appreciate the attention to details of everything about maximizing your productivity and your likability. A lot of that seemed very realistic and possible.
Yeah, this is the chapter where, I mean, I think it had come up a little bit beforehand, just as offhand mentions, but this is the chapter where the concept of the social score really comes up and is, gone on about, and that's going to hang over the rest of the fucking book. Mm-hmm. Basically you need X amount of followers and people thinking positively about you, and it's like it's the scary. What was the Chinese program for social scoring?
I think that's what
social credit scoring.
Social credit scoring. Okay, yeah. It's that basically, and this is honestly maybe the second after the tram one. This is kind of the second most important world building chapter, because you do get a lot of information about what life is on the inside for the upper 70 and the 20%.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say, it's been clanging off of me this whole time. They're called the Bell Corporation, and you fit on the bell curve. Mm-hmm. And roughly 70% of the median central tendency, like within one standard deviation of the average, is 68%, so roughly 70%. Mm-hmm. But none of the other percentages add up.
No, that's, I found that a little confusing too, but.
Yeah, I don't know. It irks me.
Yeah.
It's called the bell curve. Come on, man.
Well, it was a bell curve once upon a time, and now it is the algorithm and the first principle doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically this woman is ostracized and eventually loses the child.
Her baby daddy's pissed.
Yeah, her baby daddy be pissed. Because
Mr. Morris again, now named Mark.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's right. She has a guy she is married to, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I don't remember if it's a formal marriage, in a relationship with. And then it actually turns out that this is not, in fact, his child. It is the end product. This was going to be the perfect super baby, where upper management financial skills from Mark Morris would be bred with incredible social media skills.
God, I completely forgot about that.
And I do like the eugenicist doctor's concern that they can't let Mark Morris's genes go unaltered in a baby because it will be a raging asshole.
Yeah.
But this so yeah, her husband, Arjun is her husband.
Arjun, yes, okay.
And so there is the skeleton of something that could be really compelling chapter, which is they supposedly match on all of the algorithmic metrics. Their marital bliss score, or whatever it's called,
compatibility scores. Yeah.
And he doesn't know any of this, any of her decisions at any point. She's kept secret from him. He has to find out through gossip. Exploring her and his potential existence in a marriage where that dynamic is occurring, which is supposedly the perfect marriage, that would be great.
Well, I feel like one of the things I do like about this book is the unreliable narrator aspect of it, because they present a lot of this world's statistics and facts as unalterable truths, right? When they're clearly not. Like there's that, and then there's the chapter in the future with the lady with the algorithm in her head. Mimesis, which is probably my favorite one.
That one bangs.
That one's up there.
The mimesis is the narrator, and it's just saying these things as if they're true, but they're clearly not. And that does a good job of showing you how fake and bad this world is. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, I think they should have explored that more than, as you know, 20 years ago we invented prego pods to take the burden of child rearing off of women. I don't know. It's like I said, it's just more ham-fisted.
No, I get it. Also, like a lot of these stories could have been entire novels, and maybe should have been instead of little short stories.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Okay, so that was chapter 8. Chapter 9 is A Parable from the Heart of the Sea, and it is the trees are inaugurated. I don't know. They cut the ribbon on trees. Yeah. And we get a parable about the sea. And we also, at this point, get quite a bit of context on the tribes of the analogs, which I apparently did not highlight.
Oh, no, I think that's a different chapter.
Was it? Okay. We get some context in it here, and then what's the... chapter 15 is the suzerain.
Yeah, that's the one I listened to 10 times.
That's my favorite, but among my favorites.
That one, that pops. I mean, I'd like to see that TV show. I'm sure it wouldn't be good, but I'd like it. This is basically just a parable. I mean, it's about how metaphorically explaining the history of the world that these people live in. It's fine in terms of a short story. It's kind of a drag coming after the last chapter, which was very long and not hyper interesting. So
I do love the quote that starts that tyranny's foe is community. We will not break.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it is.
This is this is like really unsubtle and very labored as a metaphor.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I could totally see somebody, dropping this at a, memorial torch lighting ceremony or something, and everybody thinks it's profound, and then it goes wild on social media, and I get bored by it in 5 minutes. But anyway,
Obama could deliver this.
Absolutely,
and people would eat that up with a fucking spoon.
100%. So, chapter 10, avatars. We have Avatar. There's a reference to a midday shock and jock show from 20 years ago. And something that popped up in the Persona Police is that the Bell Corporation every year has a Best and Brightest Awards ceremony. It's the Oscars for corpos.
Influencers.
Yeah, influencers and corpos. And we meet 3 separate people who get invites. Cinderelle,
right,
who is
a
character that I think Eric would, it's probably involves video games, some shit, Yeah,
she plays League of Champions,
which is also not subtle.
Yeah.
League of Legends being a thing. I hated this chapter.
When I read that, I wasn't sure if League of Legends had been a thing when this was out, but I assumed it was.
It's been a thing for a very long time.
So interesting. So I really did not like this chapter in the book again, and again, I'm sorry to bounce off of all the ones I dislike, but this was published in, ironically, I think Analog or Asimov's years ago as a standalone short story, and it was better than it is in this book, as I recall.
Okay.
Really interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't care for it at all.
Yeah, it's not like, I think there's a couple of halfway decent little bits of punchline to it.
What about the chick who's like, I'm too hot to be seen on stage?
That
if they see how hot I am, they won't know I'm a good baker. It's like, come the fuck on.
Yeah, that was awful.
That was truly insane. It is absolutely fucking wild. So we have a gaming influencer. We have a makeup, makeup and hair influencer. And we have a baking influencer.
I mean, these are 3 very real things that exist.
Yeah.
A Twitch streamer, a makeup YouTuber, and a TikTok baker. Sure.
Yeah.
Walk into a bar.
Absolutely. Yeah. And all 3 of these characters have real problems with the idea that they will have to show up and show their actual faces at this ball. For various reasons. The sugar and spice, the baking one, in fact because she's so hot and her titty's so big.
She's too hot, and them titties be banging too hard, and it's going to just take away from the baking.
Yeah.
This also showed almost a lack of understanding of how social media works nowadays, because there was a time when anonymity was important on the internet, but it is not that way now. Everybody wants to attach their face to their brand now, and it just felt weird and out of touch to me.
Well, so I think that the author has actually correctly identified. Like, other characters say, "Hey, if you show yourself, you'll go even more viral. You'll break through." And she doesn't want to. She doesn't want the fame for herself.
Right.
But it's just not well handled, I think, in the story.
But the gaming influencer, why would she not want to show herself? Because she doesn't look like her video game character? Like, that's asinine to me. Anybody who expects you to would be a moron.
Yes, although I do think that plot and that character have the best and funniest resolution.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. the makeup influencer is boring.
Yeah. I don't even remember what her deal is. I remember she's titties too big, and I remember titties too small.
Her deal is she's like average to pretty, but she can't show up looking average to pretty. She's a makeup influencer because it involves Like when she's doing it on screen, she has all these filters and shit that make her face look different.
She stutter or something? Maybe that's something else I watched.
She can't talk. She can't speak in front of people, and as she does, she was on the verge of getting bounced down.
Right.
Again, there's the bones of a great story.
Yeah, she burned out. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway,
like she wrote the face filter.
Yes.
To like she was the one who created the algorithms that allow her to disguise herself.
That's right. She should have been the chapter 2 or chapter 3 woman.
Yeah. Yes. That might have actually been cool.
Like almost getting bounced out, and then God damn it. Yeah. That's right.
Anyway, tell how it ends for Cinderella, because that is pretty funny.
Okay, first, because that is funny, I want to do the sugar and spice ending first. The sugar and spice ending is she shows up in a cake.
Yeah, that was so dumb.
And accepts an award as a cake and walks away as a cake. So that's a little dumb and funny.
Well, couldn't she just worn a mask? Like...
So the thing,
but
and as I recall, it was a long time ago that I read the standalone short story version of this, but it was much funnier. It was deliberately absurd and extreme, and so it worked a lot better. Whereas this is like trying to fit in with the rest of the novel.
Okay, I guess that actually makes a lot of sense.
I could see that. Yeah,
that's a problem this book has. The tone shifts from story to story. If it's standalone, this story might not be so bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And something else, there are little subtle things in here, like Sugar and Spice refers to herself and her partner by their social media handles.
Yeah. That was weird. That was real weird.
Yeah. Internal, amongst themselves.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Which I think that's a great note. Like it shows how they think of themselves, right? But I don't know.
So Cinderella's way of getting around this, Trisha Licious wears like a hollow mask or something. The makeup artist wears like a hollow mask. Doesn't matter. Cinderella's version of getting around this is getting a fucking a real doll robot made, getting a companion made, going back to earlier this year, of her avatar. And so she doesn't have to control every little bit and bob of what it does, like balancing and stuff. She throws the aggregated data of her Twitch streams into it to make it act like her character. And it turns out that her character in these Twitch streams, which are, some sort of arena fighting,
hyper-violent barbarian type,
the robot immediately becomes insane and starts attacking her and her roommate, and apparently runs out into the street attacking randos.
And we never hear from it again.
Which we hear about, because of ongoing legal concerns involving an apparent imposter running around the streets and attacking people. Cinderella will not be appearing tonight.
Again, possibly presaging a robot uprising.
Yeah. I mean, Cinderella's leading the charge of that uprising.
Yeah.
Very Westworld.
Yeah. Yeah. So, chapter 11, Pocketses.
Oh, sorry. One other note from this chapter. John Alvarez pops back up, and by now he is the head of policy and governance.
Yes. Which I believe is the position he continues to hold until the end of the book.
She needed a more standout name than John Alvarez. I apparently just blacked it out every time I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize him till the end when he's talking with his dad. That's the only connection I made, that it was the same guy.
One thing that I did think worked in this book is the fact that the highest positioned administrators and lawyers and everything else are named Mark and John and Julia.
True.
Yeah.
Versus the names of the people that existed in Bangalore before Belcorp took over.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I like that note.
Oh, yeah. And also, in the Avatars chapter, in one of the Avatar, in one of the Trishalicious bits, when she's choosing what face to go as, she says, the internal dialogue says something about she chooses a rich dark brown, so that people basically saying colorism is still a thing in this future, and she wants to make it not. Like she wants to make it less so, which I thought, I bet that is a concern that a lot of, not something that I would think to notice or write, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure colorism's going to stick around. Jesus Christ, why wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a bummer note to end part 1 on. But I got to cut it off somewhere. So, sure to tune in next week to see what happens on the 10% Thief and our feelings about it. In the meantime, please, the usual social medias, Blue Sky, patreon.com/hightechlowlife, hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com, and check Geoff's stuff out at astronomicapodcast.com. And you can also find a link to their Discord where we're at in the High Tech Low Life channel. We'll see you next week, motherfucker. Sorry, that was aggressive. I love you all. You're not motherfuckers. You're nice folks. Bye.
This has been the High Tech Low Life podcast. Find us on Blue Sky at High Tech Low Life. Email us at hightechlowlifepodcast@gmail.com, and find us on Patreon at patreon.com/hightechlowlife. Theme music by Nihilor at nihilor.com. Thank you for listening.
Keep it moving. Come on, what are you waiting on? Let's go.
They're trashing our rights, man! They're trashing the fluid data! They're trashing! Everybody out there. Hide the planet! Shut up and get in the car!